Hey everybody, we've got an awesome tutorial on how to use the batch import or the historical importing tool within SimpleEvents. So let me switch over to SimpleEvents. So you can see here I'm logged in. I'm going to go over to create a new event and let's just call it an event. So I'm going to come up with a golf tournament. All right, so 2022, let's go way back, golf tournament, right? Because you just got SimpleEvents and this is an on-site in-person. This is our golf tournament to drive awareness. All right, so we got that, and we're going to say the tournament was back in, say, September 22nd, 2022, and it was an all-day thing. So we're just going to say there to and go through the afternoon, right? The event location, if you wanted to put the golf course in, when you're doing historical events, you don't necessarily have to do the location and the registration. If you wanted that for future events, so you could clone off of this one, you could use that, but I'm not going to put one in. In this case, we don't need forms. If you want the marketing list, you can use the list, registered, attended, and no-shows, those kind of things. Again, this is a pro feature doing this configuration. Of course, we don't need confirmations or workflows. And then I'm going to mark this as a private event. So if you did have a calendar, and for some reason somebody was able to navigate back into 2022, we don't want them seeing the public event right now. We want to mark it as completed. What we're going to do is just tell it to create list. And when I go in and say create event, as you can see, I've got my dates. It's all in the past right here. But then this is where you want to go. And now this is a pro feature, just so everyone knows. I can come over here to the batch import and you can see I don't have any. Create your first ones today. And if I say, let me just type in the Google survey one, that's a good list. Now, what this dropdown will tell you is, hey, it's a dynamic list. And when it's a dynamic list, it will pull the list at this given moment. Meaning if the list changes tomorrow, SimpleEvents does not go back and grab the next person. So this is a one-time import. That way, if your list ever changes, you can re-import and it won't duplicate contacts. I'm going to mark them as attended. So let's say they registered on the 10th of 2022 here, boom, AM. And then let's say they attended the event, which was the 22nd, 2022 at 6:50 AM. Now, what this will do is create a batch and then SimpleEvents will process it. Okay. So what does that look like when it's done? Let me show you real fast. So the batch is running now and you can see the status is 0. It's set up. I can jump out to that list just if I wanted to double check it. The list takes about 60 seconds to 2 minutes to process, depending on how large it is. If it is over a certain size, we'll do multiple batch jobs to make sure all the data flows in correctly. So let's magically fast forward and see what it looks like. Boom, as you can see, the status was updated. Now this was a small list size. So at that point you will go right from 0 to 100. It won't take long. It's just 60. It updates every 60 seconds just because we batch so many things. So 60 seconds, it's going to be done. With that, now if I go back over to my attendees list, what you will see here is boom, all the attendees have flown in. That's how you can use the historical information. And if I go back to a attendee real fast and drop out, say this freelance writer, what you will see is today, they were added to an attendee and to a marketing list, as you can see here. But if I turn all this communication off and turn on marketing events right here, you will see back in September, he attended, and back at August, they registered, which was the settings that I set up, and you can see it all matched in there. So that's how you can use the batch import or the historical importing option in SimpleEvents to back artificially fill, and that contact would also have this updated as well on the card on the right hand side. If you have any issues or questions, you can always email support@simpleevents.io. With that, I really hope you enjoyed this walkthrough on how to do the batch importing. With that, this is Justin over at SimpleEvents, and remember, keep it simple.